Hey you guys, just a little bit of a quick disclaimer before the video starts. Forspoken was sent to me by Square Enix, so shout out to them for sending me a copy of the game, and there will be spoilers in this video. So if you don't care about those and you haven't played Forspoken yet, then by all means, just, watch at your own risk. If you haven't played it and you really don't want any spoilers, then I would recommend clicking out of this video and playing it before anything. So yeah, enjoy the video. See you guys soon. Screaming out into the void does little to quell any anger, fear, or hope that one might have. Frey Holland gets thrust into a larger-than-life mission that will allow her to not only believe in herself, but become part of something bigger than her and grant her the family that she's always wanted. Through the many bosses that I faced along the way and a wisecracking, colorfully sarcastic Cuff, I found myself curious, excited, and questioning these strange worlds that collide, beliefs that clash, and Frey must make the choice through all of her bitterness and longing to be a part of something bigger than herself. What's going on, you guys? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome to my review of Forspoken. Oof, this game was something else. It was fun. I have some critiques of it, but this game was overall fun. It was something where so many plot twists, I couldn't keep track. It was actually something I was so surprised with because this is the first time that a game has made me this surprised with the plotline in a very, very long time. So let's get into it. At first, when diving into this game, I thought the story was setting up for tears, and based on trailers and proceeding through chapter 1 and 2, I thought it would be simply about getting home. The story is much bigger than that, and it happily took me by surprise. From the dialogue that doesn't take itself too seriously, I felt this world from the get-go had so much to offer. This character was designed to be witty, smart, intuitive, and just the everyday girl from New York. Her genuine expressions and interactions with the characters and Cuff felt sincere and something that I could really hear taking place as a real-world interaction. As Frey goes on her journey, she is meant to, at a certain point, remove from existence, if you will, every Tanta. But what she doesn't know is, until the end of the game that is, that one of the Tantas is in fact her mother. When this, amongst other things, made itself known in the story, I actually felt shocked, in a way that I haven't for a while. Normally with stories nowadays, you can see how the process and the story will take place. When it came to the story of Forspoken, different things took me off guard that I never thought would have. And that's something that, also with Cuff, I never thought he would have been the bad guy. I always saw him as like wisecracking, really cool interactions. That guy who, the guy I'm personifying, a Cuff, Mr. Van Brace. The thing that always stood out to me about Cuff was that he portrayed himself to be there for Frey. He was very manipulative and he was kind of gaslighting towards the end, but he was just a very wise character. I think the funniest interaction for me, at least, was when Cuff mistook Newark for New York. As someone who was born and raised in New Jersey, I don't know if you guys knew that, but I laughed harder than I thought I would at that because I currently live in New York, but Newark is nothing like New York. Just want to put that out there. So let's dive into some of the mechanics. I think that I was most excited about the mechanics. Besides the story, I think I was most excited about the mechanics. And by thus far, some of the best I've ever seen in a game. Well, they are, but then there's Returnal. Returnal has amazing mechanics. They're so good. So yeah, I put Returnal and Forspoken right up there with the mechanics. The way that you have the quick change between the powers and the way that you can just do the magic parkour and still attack enemies from way up high in your parkour just magicness, I think is absolutely incredible. You have so many different opportunities to just defeat any obstacle that's in your way. It made it so immersive in accordance with the story, because when the mechanics are, and I don't even know how to properly put this, but the way that the mechanics are ingrained with how the story is, it makes it that much better to experience, if that makes sense. So once you get a hang of the mechanics, it flows from point to point to point, just like the story does. And I feel like that's really, really cool. Now, this other part, I don't know if it would necessarily go into mechanics, but it is something to do with how the game flows and in accordance with the story. So I'm putting it in this part anyway. So just in case, you guys are, just playing the game for the first time and you want a little bit of a heads up, here you go. There are certain things that caught me off guard when it came to the character interaction. So the cutscenes are paced in a very awkward manner. The fade to black, the long pauses in the dialogue, even when the characters speak in certain cutscenes, I don't feel like their mouths are actually lined up with the words at all. And that was actually pointed out to me by one of you guys who commented on the first episode. I did not notice that whenever I was first recording, but after you play the game a little bit, you start to notice that the mouths are not lined up with the voices at all. It's like, it completely throws you off. Some points, it really is lined up and it looks absolutely gorgeous, but other points, it's like the writing is good. I just feel like it was paced poorly at certain points of where it felt like there were too many breaks as well. Like, the story itself is not what I have the issue with. It's the character interaction that I had the issue with when I started to notice more and more of it. Because when you see those long pauses, especially when you try to move, when you're interacting with Cuff and you can't move while you're interacting with Cuff, it's just those little like quality of life things that caught me off guard. And I'm like, why is this even happening in a game that's out in 2023? Another thing to note, as someone who is nearsighted and not farsighted, you cannot change the text. I was about to say the text bigness, the size of the text in the game. Whenever you're looking at textbooks that you get in game with the description of different characters, all that kind of stuff, you can't change the size of the font at all, which really aggravated me because every time I had to look at the screen, I had to either go up close or like put glasses on, and I don't normally wear glasses for playthroughs that I do because the size of what the game looks like is not, you know, it's not usually a problem for me, but I had to wear glasses to read a lot of the stuff, which was somewhat annoying. At the end of the day, it's small things, and those small things add up, and you know, it's just those little quality of life things that make a game just good, just really good. And I feel like, you know, I might be nitpicky here with the things that I mentioned, but it's things that not only I've noticed, but other people have noticed too. So now, when it comes to representation, there are so many things that this game is doing great. Other things, not so much. I am not a Black woman. I do not know how it feels or how to go through life as one, so I can only speak from my perspective of things that I noticed when I was playing this game, things that a friend pointed out to me while I was playing this game. So just to point that out. With all that being said, there is a lack of diversity in content, as we all know, in the gaming community. But when it comes to Frey, having a Black woman front and center as your main protagonist, little kids are going to see that and be like, Mom, look, that's me. And I love that. I love that. It's going to stay here. The games are forever. That's the thing. It's going to stay with us forever, and it's going to be a positive inspiration for the next generation. This is a message, actually, to the next generation that, hey, look, things are improving. I feel it's crucial to show the upcoming generation that, look, change is coming. When we have, for example, Halle Bailey, who is cast as Ariel, and so many little girls who saw that trailer of her, they were like, and I'm paraphrasing right now, but you saw so much footage and so many clips of little girls saying, look, Mom, that's me. And I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. And I think the same will happen with this game, because there is that positive representation and there is that going forward. So I think we're on the right step. While there still is work to do, we are going on the right step. Now, there is something that I want to point out that I did not quite like after doing research, after talking with a friend of mine, after going really heavy into this, because I want to make sure that I'm accurate with this. I don't want to come off, you know, unknowledgeable in any way, which I'm human. It'll happen, but as much as I can prevent it. I found out that Frey's character was written by someone who is white. Now, before you do anything and before you haphazardly type into that comment section, I don't care if you're white, black, beige, green, purple, or blue. If you do proper research for the character that you are writing about, then it's fine. I don't care. But whenever you have a character that curses as much as Frey does, that is inaccurate to New Yorkers and Black women. As a New Yorker myself, I do not curse that much, nor do I ever feel the need to ever curse that much. And I know for a fact that Black women do not curse that much. So it's an inaccurate stereotype to place on people. Now, yes, in my playthrough, I was giggling at first because, you know, she was cursing and I could associate with that a little bit because I too have the mouth of the sailor, but you curse at appropriate moments. Like, it's like, there were some moments I was asking myself, why is she cursing here? There's no need to curse in a sentimental moment that you're having with Auden. Like, there is no need whatsoever. And I feel like Frey's character, part of it is not taking herself seriously, part is actually serious. So for the parts that are serious, I don't feel like she needs to be cursing a lot for that. I know, maybe that's my own thing. Maybe people don't mind the cursing as much, but it's something that was pointed out to me by a friend of mine and something I noticed as I got more into the game at certain points. Overall, I think progress is being made little by little, but we do still have a lot of a ways to go. Through the technical mishaps, beautiful mechanics, and the story that teaches us no matter the cards you're dealt with, you can be whoever you want to be in life. Forspoken created an undeniable atmosphere and charming world for me to get lost in, and to ultimately find my voosh. You guys, and that was it for my review on Forspoken. If you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. I make videos every day here on YouTube. May you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Umbasa.